Hi, if you guys continue to watch the videos ahead, you will find one jail phone call from Gypsy to her aunt, which is her mother Dee Dee's sister. You will find videos with Dee Dee's family talking about how they knew when Gypsy was younger that she could eat, that she could jump on a trampoline. I'm not trying to blame the whole thing on them, but it always goes back to a childhood. Dee Dee had been arrested. Dee Dee was aggressive. Dee Dee's family knew that she had problems. Dee Dee's sister talked to Gypsy after the murder. She even knew that that was the only way Gypsy was getting out. If you really look at all these, and we can't say, oh, the Petries are lying because it's Dee Dee's family. They're not going to lie. And no, they're not jealous of Dee Dee. And they would be very sad at that point, especially right after the murder. So really, guys, you guys got to think. This is not all Gypsy's fault. You have to go back to when she was a child. She was shoved in a wheelchair by her mother. She had a feeding tube that she did not need. Yes, she had microdeletion, but she did not need these things, guys. Look at her medical record. Look at what her family is saying. Look at what her father is saying there's another recording where her father even told Gypsy on the phone, I could never talk to you without your mom being right there. If he went to go visit her, she had to be right there. Gypsy only had her mother, nobody else. If she tried to run away, her mom brought her back. You guys have really got to look at these things. And it's easy to judge because you guys didn't have to live the way she did. But just watch the videos ahead and make your own judgment. And God bless you.
Having a birthday party, and Dee Dee had went to the store, and all the kids was, jumping on the trampoline. And Gypsy said, can I go jump on the trampoline? We said, sure. So she was jumping with all the other kids. But when her mom pulled up, she dropped like a wet rag. And it's like, what happened?
It's not uncommon to see a child who's in a Munchausen abuse situation to just flip on a dime. When they're with their mother, they look really sick, they play the part, but then as soon as mother leaves, all of a sudden the kid is perfectly normal.
Dee Dee came out and was pissed. She was screaming, don't you know she's crippled? And I said, we all seen different. Dee Dee pulled her off of the trampoline, put her in her wheelchair, and rolled her in the house for the rest of the day. Having a bird.
Gypsy being sick, you almost wouldn't think that she was. A lot of people who had a lot less wrong with them would probably have done a lot more moaning and wailing about the whole thing.
Here she is having tubes being put into her, having needles and treatments, and it was incredibly inspiring to see how Gypsy responded.
When Dee Dee and Gypsy came up from New Orleans with no concrete medical records previously, I have to assess the information that Dee Dee's giving me. But she didn't remember the cancer diagnosis. So we tested, and guess what? Test came back normal. We felt like there was no evidence of cancer. Well, maybe she's in remission. Then when Dee Dee said she's got a muscular problem, at least from the outset, it looks like, well, maybe she does. She's in a wheelchair. As I examined her, There wasn't real obvious things that suggested muscular disorders. So I was really frustrated. And so that's when I referred Gypsy to see a neurologist.
My name is Bernardo Flasters. Around August 2007, Gypsy came with her mother for neurological assessment. From what I knew and I remember, she moved from Louisiana. She was a Katrina survivor, and I was told that this girl has a sad story, and the community kind of adopt her and they embrace her. I always like to ask questions to the patient, but at the time, the interaction was mainly with the mother. She says she has muscular dystrophy, that she has cerebral palsy, that she had a seizure disorder or epilepsy. And so I asked for Gypsy's medical records. But Gypsy's mother said she doesn't have no records because everything got lost in the storm. Because there were no records to be obtained or requested, I had to base, trust and rely on what the mother told me at the time. But the volume of her muscles were normal. They were well-sized and her reflexes were normal, meaning that it kind of didn't make sense that she would not be able to walk. So she was referred to have an MRI of the spine to see if there could be anything that I'm missing. And it was completely normal. So I told Mom that I don't see any reason why she shouldn't be able to stand up and walk. Where she was mad. She said that's not true. She cannot walk, that's a fact. And said she was not coming back. When her reaction was not as expected, I said that I have a suspicion that this is not real. This is fabricated or exaggerated. That's when I said that this is suspicious of Munchausen by proxy. So my duty was to tell the pediatrician in my report.
The pediatric neurologist who raised the notion of Munchausen by proxy had a powerful responsibility to Gypsy. By virtue of his even considering the diagnosis means he needed to pick up the phone and call Child Protective Services. And he failed to do so, as did other doctors.
If I would have reported her, I believe that the mother would have convinced them that what I'm saying is not true. I needed more to be able to report them to child services.
If you have a reasonable suspicion that you're making in good faith, you are protected and required to make the report.
Having seen what happened, if I see in the future another Munchausen by proxy, I probably should be more aggressive.
I never heard anything about the Munchausen by proxy. Didn't even know what it was. When we found out what it really was all about.
When they were in the hospital, I took care of Gypsy. She would eat right outside the table. Some French fries or anything we cooked. She didn't use no feeding machine.
I mean, God just didn't want it to happen that way.
Right. I didn't want it to happen that way.
It's not the end of the world.
Right.
It's not the end of the world.
Very true. And I'm like, I feel so relieved now because I was worried.
And it should be you done that because you was worried.
Right.
You know, stress does crazy things to the body.
It does. It
I know you know that.
Yeah. But I went to court yesterday.
I saw you on Facebook.
Oh, really? Oh, God.
Yeah. You were wearing with purple or pink glasses.
Yeah. I don't enjoy the media attention. That's one thing I don't enjoy.
I know.
It's like it's bad media attention.
Like I said, if they got to pin you, just hurry up and get it over with so you can heal.
Exactly.
You know?
It takes a while because after this, I go to court again on the 31st of this month.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
that's an arraignment to plead not guilty. And
Right.
then after that, it's going to be a long
Yes.
time. It's going to be a bunch of little conferences. That's where the real work begins of just figuring out what our defense is, what our plan is, and now that things are more defined, my lawyer said that we know what defense we're going to go with. We know we have a plan because, like I was telling you before, I have a lot of memory loss because of the medications, and so I don't remember everything that happened. And they had showed the evidence, and the evidence was bad. It was in the form of text messages.
Right.
And so, anyway, now it's bound over for trial, so whenever you go to trial, and basically what my lawyer is looking at is the charge of manslaughter, which carries a penalty of 15 years maximum. But most likely I wouldn't get that much time because I didn't do the actual kill or anything. That I was just kind of aiding rather than being the one that hit.
Exactly. But in there, who he's talking to, who's his fifth? Is his sister?
What's that?
He sent a text to his fifth. He said something about that. Is his sister he was talking to?
And it was like
his sister.
Oh,
said fifth out of when he was talking about you.
Oh, okay. Because I know that he was cheating on me, and that he was talking to his best friend about it, and then for me it was I was on I had taken like 2 Ambiens that his mom was giving me her medicine too, and I have a bad reaction to Ambien.
Yeah, baby. Okay, I was talking to no. Okay, I was talking to Dow.
Oh, okay. You need to go?
No.
Okay.
I don't get to talk to you often, no.
I got your number.
Out of the street, I was outside. But yeah, I'll see something. I know, and you can tell me it's straight to your heart because right now, everything that's going on, we don't care what happens to you, Mama. That's how mad we are with that. You know, it went so freaking crazy. Now, you want me to get the body or you don't want me to get the body? It don't make no difference.
I do.
You two, you understand, huh?
It's just,
I mean, because they're going to keep her there forever. You know, the friend that she did you so much wrong and everybody's like so bitter to that. And it's like, you know, it's like, and then I don't know what scores this on you because if you really don't want it, because I mean, you were thinking about doing this, that's probably the last thing you want to do. You don't have to relive this all over again.
I know.
Because you made the life miserable. I think that's the only memory you would need to have.
I know. And it's like,
you know, baby, I mean, you can't say you really loved her because you did in a way, yeah, but from a distance, like you said, you was behind the glass.
Right.
But it's not going to hurt nobody's feelings if you want to just leave her where she's at. You don't try to get life over there because on the video she said she didn't want to be coming back to Louisiana.
I know she wants to get away from Louisiana, and I'm not really sure why.
Well, because she was that way. Everybody figured her out.
Because I'm like, I don't understand what was so bad about the family. I mean, I can understand how things got
different all her life. They asked me, were you close to her? No. Were you close to her when she was a baby? No. Were you close to her when she was an adult? No. We didn't like her because she was so mean. You know, she was different. She always wanted to be with Momsy. Well, you know what? Now you're dead. She's dead. But she's cremated. Like I said, if she'll leave her there, we'll leave her there.
Well, I don't want to leave her there because for me, it's a different point of view to each person. And for me, yes, I did love my mom. And yes, I know that y'all weren't close as kids or anything. She was talking about how, you know, you and Aunt Barbara were more closer together. And she was kind of the she was different and didn't quite fit in. But it's like, she's still y'all's sister, and she's still my mom, and just honestly know that I was desperate. I was desperate to get away.
I believe you.
And
I do believe you.
it's like, I'm not a killer. I have never been a killer. I don't even hunt. Because I don't kill. I don't kill animals. I don't kill humans. But, you know, it's the fact that someone...
Oh, yeah, they got those pictures. You was posing with some knives and all, like costume dress, whatever.
Costume.
They have that all over the internet.
Because I was posing...
3 different poses. One you have a knife by your tongue, one by your booby. And it's like everybody's thinking like, well, is she a tooth cycle killer?
No, it was a Halloween costume. And
you took the pictures.
Yeah, I took the picture, and it was last October that I took them pictures, but posted it like more in towards May. And I'm like, if you ever seen the comic book Batman, well,
I noticed what Hunter you right away who you was dressing as.
Yeah, and the character is called Harley Quinn. It's the Joker's girlfriend.
That's exactly what Hunter said.
Yeah.
Hunter's my grandson. You knew right away.
Exactly. But they used that against me in court, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Also, pictures of me as a princess and different stuff like this. Y'all didn't take me around.
But you know, possible. I was thinking, if these people over there knew you can walk, why are they making it sound so bad to us? Like, you know, like, wow, y'all knew she could walk and y'all didn't let nobody go by. Y'all didn't try to do anything about it. It's like, y'all don't understand. Every time we try to call, because we were planning on coming to Christmas, every time we were planning on coming, she said, well, call first. You might be at the hospital, you might be at clinic. And then I never noticed that the house's windows was all painted black. I didn't notice that. But people making such a big thing about it. I mean, wow. The house was pissed. I mean, hot.
I didn't even know anyone knew. That's the thing. My lawyer said that one of the neighbors knew, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
They figured it out because I don't even know who
knew. You remember Turtle?
Yeah.
Mama Spring Turtle?
Yeah, of course.
She called me last night. She's been talking to a TV station or something, and they made the call to say that your name was spelled wrong. Her daughter, wait, what's her daughter's name? Crap. Hannah? Is it Hannah?
Okay.
Her daughter's name? I don't know. She's in Canada.
Okay, I haven't seen Turtle since I've been little. I mean, real little.
I know. And then there's a people on the internet, and Turtle says she could swear that you wearing that dress because your mama served in her wedding.
Right.
She could swear that you in that dress, and somebody's trying to say that you was wearing that dress because you was in dance. It's she didn't walk. I wanted her to dance. So, I don't know.
It's just crazy.
It is. Like I said, you're going to be 24.
Yeah,
on
tomorrow.
On Monday. You're going to be an old lady. I'm 22.
Oh, you're not old.
No, not at all.
No.
So that's Monday. Well, you know how it seems that lawyer talks to us August the 3rd. We probably going to be witnesses. So I might get to see you then.
Yeah. Well, you know that my mom wasn't only lying about my age. She was lying about hers too, you know.
Well, she's 48.
She
was born in 67. We have her birth certificate.
She was saying that she was born in 1975.
Well, I guess not.
And like y'all her sister, so of course y'all would know.
No. Yeah. She was born the same year as my husband. My husband's 47. November he turns 48.
Wow. Well.
Yeah. You remember him? He's still tiny.
I remember.
But yeah, I'm gonna. I mean, if you really want it, like I said, you have time to think about it. If you're gonna call me again and think about it, and you think about it.
No. Did you see the news, or at least the news portion of where they showed me in court with the paparazzi?
What, baby?
Did you see the news coverage on, it's a TV station here, but it's called KY3.com?
Yeah.
Me crying. That was my reaction.
Yeah,
whenever
I know. That's the one I saw.
That's my reaction.
Yeah.
That's my reaction whenever they were showing pictures.
Yes, before they said that they showed all kind of pictures. I mean, they said she was stabbed 12 times.
12? Are you kidding me?
12 times.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that.
Yep. So I mean, and it's like when you, and it's like, oh, I just keep thinking about how that must have felt. That must have been horrible. Oh.
I wasn't even in the room. I was in the bathroom, and
they said that you gave him the gloves and you gave him the ice. And you told
I don't even remember that part.
Yeah.
And it's like, I do remember some of it, but it was a big blur. And that's the hardest part, is trying to tell the truth and having a nightmare after that kind of makes what the real
and you
truth
stayed in the house. It says you, it's trying to paint a really ugly picture because it says you stayed in the house till the next morning. So
No.
you stayed in the house, you stayed in the house with the body.
That's not
you
true.
Left the next morning, you went to a motel, far from the house, then you went to Walmart. So after you went to Walmart, then you caught a bus.
It was all
wherever
guys,
you was
remember
the
the
mom
drug
picked
claims
y'all
she's
up.
doing
The last part.
in jail?
It's like, some of it's true, some of it's not. It's like crazy. And the things that people are trying to make up, they're like, I met Nick on a Christian dating website. And my mom didn't know I was on the website because, you know, she would never let me date. So anyway,
she would have made some new tickets.
and anyway, so I went off to try to find a boyfriend on my own on the internet. And I thought a Christian site would be the best, you know? Come on.
No, he was on the other side. You can't. No, now it works for some people, but some people it don't. And you got the bad one.
I got the
dope. If you would have ran away, on your own, then the whole world would have been looking for you.
Right.
You know, but like me and Nanny was saying today, hey Dora, the worst thing about this, and Tiffany was saying it too, the worst thing about this is that you catching all the heat.
I'm catching heat, but my lawyer says that there are supporters out there too.
Yeah, they got some good ones and they got some bad ones. That say you need to be fried, put in the electric chair, but that's not gonna happen. I mean, no. And then they're saying that you should have good support from their family because they're not understanding how come we never went. They don't understand. We have to work.
Right.
There's nothing we can do. You gotta have the financial ability to do this. We don't. Right. I would have been on the plane in a heartbeat.
I know you
but I don't have that. Nanny don't have that money, baby.
I know. I don't know what he does, really.
No, nobody. Everybody they started saying, well, what about the cruises? Why don't you, I see our family has expensive toys. Yeah, they do. I don't. Well, tell y'all hard. I said we had to voluntarily surrender our heart a year ago. Now what? You know, they go on and on. They don't want to hear nothing. They think they know better than us. They were there.
A lot of people are saying a lot of stuff. Oh, me? I'm eating? I'm eating. Yes.
You eat meat?
Huh?
Do you eat meat?
I do.
Yay!
I like cheeseburgers.
Awesome! And she was a vegetarian, her, so say, but
yeah, no, I like cheeseburgers.
Somebody asked me if she was eating. They asked me to ask if she was eating, and I don't even know who asked me that. She didn't find out if she was eating. I said, I don't know.
Box, and Gypsy had pulled his box out. My aunt asked her, "What's that box?" And she says, "Oh, that's what Mom uses to relax my muscles." It was a box of vibrators. It was vibrators. Yeah. So what was she doing to Gypsy at night? You know what I'm saying? Was something she was doing to relax her muscles? What are you talking about? It was a box of dildos.
That is beyond weird. And how old was Gypsy, you said, when she said that?
That would be when she was 9. That would have been around the time when she was living in my grandfather's house, the second house. So after you moved out of the old house where my dad is, they pull out a box and...
Now that you guys had time to watch all of this, You have seen almost everybody that failed Gypsy and Dee Dee. Dee Dee would be here today if somebody would have stood up, called CPS, which they did. People called CPS, but CPS did nothing because Dee Dee was smart. But they should have continued to call and call and call, fight and get Gypsy away from her mother. That would have been a smart move. She has been failed by her doctors. At least 2 or 3 of them knew that she may have had Munchausen by proxy. I don't need to be a nurse, I don't need to be a doctor to figure out something was definitely wrong with Dee Dee. She had mental health issues, which Gypsy has said herself. She still loves her mother. I believe she still loves her mother. You guys need to stop judging her and really just put yourself in her shoes. Should she have done what she did? No. Does Gypsy know she should have not done that? Yes. Does Gypsy have regret? Yes. You guys slamming her all through the internet is nothing. It's nothing to her because she has to live with this every day for the rest of her life. Every day. You don't know how many times she cries. You don't know how many times she wakes up with nightmares. It's so easy to judge her and pick on her and put her up on a panel and do all kinds of things to her, but you guys can't hurt her more than she has already hurt herself. But thank God for Jesus' forgiveness, that if she asks him, he will forgive her and give her peace. And I hope you all get peace, because this hating Gypsy and trying to ruin her life even worse than it is, it's sad and it's pathetic. But I pray for you all and hope you all have a great night.